This is Wurth-It Travel Adventures. I am currently in remote parts of Nevada off of Route 93. Actually, I'm on Route 93, looking for the ghost town of Delamar. It's about 16 miles off a paved road. We're about to make a right turn about 4 miles ahead and see if we can find it. If I can even get there in a two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive car. I read that four-wheel drive is highly recommended, so I'm going to take my chances and see if I can get there. Alright guys, it's a little breezy out here, as it always is in Nevada. I have came to Delamar Road, which is about a 15 to 16 mile journey off the grid to Delamar Ghost Town. And this is where I will be entering with my Chevy Sonic rental. There's a sign over here. That tells you about Delamar. As you can see, for now the roads are pretty decent, but I'm only a half mile into it. Hopefully this goes well and we can get there and we can explore the town for a little bit. I have about 2 hours before I have to start heading back towards Las Vegas to catch my flight home. See where we end up. This is South Pole Line Road, which leads to Delamar Road. Obviously it's called Pole Line Road for a reason. It runs along these power lines. I'm cruising about 40 miles per hour. I'm sure I'll have to slow down once we turn off at about 3 miles. Just to give you guys an idea, I'm about to turn off on the Delamar Road about a half mile ahead. Just a vast nothingness. For miles there's just power poles. Nothing around. See you when I get to Delamar, unless we find something exciting along the way. I figured I'd show you what Delamar Road looks. Delamar. I don't know why I keep calling it Delamar, but Delamar Road looks like. Straight line of nothing. So hopefully this is a good sign. Alright, we should only be a couple of miles away from Delamar. As you can see, we're going to take this road and it's going to go up the mountains. And on the other side of these mountains, it should be less than a couple miles. I started driving up the mountain slope and I looked down and I saw a small cemetery down there. So we'll have to stop there on the way back. On the way back through, as you can see, the road does get very rough, narrow, right along this mountain slope. So hopefully we make it. Alright, it's saying we should be less than a mile away. Still gets even more rough. I just went through a really rough patch. I had to be real slick about it so I didn't bottom out on any rocks. Before I make you sick, I'm going to turn the camera off. Alright, I wanted to stop the car and show you how narrow this road is. Like, the view is immaculate, but there's like 2 feet on the edge of the car, on the edge of the road. And it's very, very bumpy. It really doesn't get any easier, and I'm kind of getting scared now that I'm going to get stuck out here in this car. It's a rough one for sure. You have to be ever so careful. It's a little farther than I thought. Hopefully we come over this hill and it's here. Because I don't know how much more I'm willing to do. Oh, the view is immaculate when you come over the hill. Oh, I see some ruins down there, so I think we're going to be okay. If you can see it off in the distance. about the center of the camera. And we have made it. I'm not sure how much more road I'm going to be able to drive, but at least we got a little view of it. There's some scattered ruins. I assume this is where the old mill used to be. Let's see if we can get a closer look. There is a building just down the way here before we get to the old mill ruins. I assume that's what it is anyway. Not much left of this one, just the walls. And the old wood burning stove. Looks like an aftermarket one. The original one looks like it was in the wall, as you can see. Interesting. That's pretty cool. So now we're going to head up this way. And here we are at these ruins here. It definitely looks like what it was. It would have been an old mill. No idea what all these used to be. There's a huge wall right here that I'm standing on. Some other ruins in the background. Let's go down a little farther. I'm currently down below now. My car is parked up top there, so I want to make this quick just in case there's some chance that other people will be coming through here, which the chances are probably highly unlikely. Just some other ruins. I'm not going to walk any farther this way. I'm going to get back up to my car now. Whew, I'm out of breath. I'm walking out here on these beams. This wood is really soft, so if you ever come out here, be careful. One last view of this area. An old foundation. It also looks like there was some mining activity up this way. Not quite sure, but humans definitely dug there. Mostly just a lot of old foundations out here. Most of them, some of them have the walls, but most of them are just down to the ground. Story has it that a lot of people came out here picking the stones rock by rock from the walls, hoping to find something hidden in the walls. Probably guarantee that nobody hid anything in the walls out here. A lot of old foundations on this mountain slope here. Not much left of them but the corners. This one still has part of the roof left, either way. Nothing exciting inside. Looks like this was a really long complex of housing. Just a bunch of old foundations here. Whole rows of them. Looks like there's a row there, then there's a row up here, which is pretty neat. What's even cooler is this old, looks like an old Volkswagen. Probably not even that. Let's go check it out without getting bit by a rattlesnake. It was a really small car. It's full of bullet holes. The front end's missing, that's why it looks small. Somebody took the engine, whole front end, all smashed in. That's pretty cool though. There's foundations everywhere over here. Let's move on. Here's an old building, probably a bank, hotel, who knows. It had a basement. Nothing exciting down in here. Lizards. Surprised this wall is still standing. Some more ruins down this way. Just rubble of foundations is all this is. You can clearly see where there used to be some buildings. There's some foundations up this way, but the road looked way too rough for me to travel up. But I may attempt it. Time is running short. No idea what this would have been. It was a massive structure. So it looks. Just long, narrow walls. A lot of people have carved their names in here. New Age petroglyphs. I don't know if I'm going to be able to drive down any farther. The road is very rutted. Alright, I braved the journey I shouldn't have up this road here. There's a few more structures up here. I think this is old muck or something that they dumped out here. I don't think it's rock. There's wood posts in it. I'm not quite sure either way. Some more foundations. This big building, that's probably the most preserved building that's here, as far as I know. I'm not sure what it was. The cathedral is quite unknown. As you can see, there's huge rocks in this road, and it was rough driving up here with a Chevy Sonic. Interesting. We're gonna walk up there. It looks like the old road that actually, the walking path at least, or the road that led up to this building is right here. You can barely tell it was ever there. We are currently standing in front of the cathedral. That's what I'm going to call it, because it looks that cool. It's pretty much just full of rocks inside. A view out the window. This may have been more like a hotel. Oh yeah. The rooms are just full of stone. Looks like people were digging for treasure. What's up here? That looks like it used to catch rain. Yep, that looks like a water catcher, if you ask me. It looks like there used to be a trench dug here. There's a pipe that goes down into the ground. Well guys, this is about the last we're going to see. The other roads are way too rough for me to drive down. There was a lot more to see here. A lot more. If I ever come out here with a four-wheel drive, I'll come back. Hopefully that'll be next year when I buy a truck, if all works out. We'll probably stop for some views on the way out. It's going to take some time. This is Wurth-It Travel Adventures, signing out. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe to my page. There is some little foundations down here. I'm on my way back out just to show you how rough this road is and why you don't want to bring a car back here. I can probably won't be able to keep the camera still. So let me stop and show you. It's rough. There's large stones, very large stones, and I have to weave around them, try not to bottom the car out. But it was definitely worth the visit to Delamar Ghost Town. I'll have to do some more research on this and put it in the description on the video. Ouch. Just a view of the scenery. Sorry if the camera's a little bumpy. I'm hitting some large rocks. There's a large bird sitting up there. Interesting. It's spying on me. Alright, I think on my way out I found what might be a mine entrance. So we're gonna walk back up in here and look. See if it is. And sure enough it is an old mine entrance. Very cold air coming out of here. This is pretty creepy. Very cold air. I'm gonna get in here and try and take some photos. Watch out for any snakes that come in here to cool off. Wow. I don't dare go back any farther. It's a lot of water. So it's pretty cool to see the inside of a mine. I've never been more than 2 feet into one before they gate it off. These ones are completely open. Time to take photos. Alright guys, I'm just going to walk a few feet back here. There's a lot of water, a lot of mud. Oh, I almost slipped and fell. It's very muddy. I find it really hard to believe that people survive these conditions. You can't see anything, so I'm going to have to take some photos. That's the exit. And it goes back there a little ways. I wonder how deep it is. See you on the outside. As I'm leaving Delamar Ghost Town, I would like to give you one last scenic view as we drive back by the old mill. It is amazing out here. Absolutely amazing. I suggest 100% bring a four-wheel drive. Don't try to brave it like I am, because I don't know what I'd do if I would get stuck, which I almost did several times. or bottom out and break an oil pan or spring a leak, something like that. Put your old metal sheeting down there. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'm newer to YouTube, so there will be more videos in the future. Just a view on the way out. The roads are still really rough. They're all taking it. Oh. Alright, enough recording. See you when we get out. Guys, I almost forgot that we're going to stop at the cemetery on the way out. Completely forgot about that. So we're almost there. This is an overhead view of it from the mountain slope. Oh, it looks like there's a few graves remaining that you can see. Can't wait to check it out. See you there. I left my car running so it would stay cool. Most of these graves, it looks like the writing and stuff's worn off or broke off. But this is a newly replaced gravestone, born 1871 and passed away in 1915. There's an old toy turtle laying on the ground beside the grave. Here's an old one, probably from the very early 1900s, late 1800s. You can't read anything on it, it's deteriorated. Same with this one. It looks like there's a lot of graves in here, and you'll probably be walking over top of them and not know it because most of them have deteriorated and you can no longer tell. This one's pretty cool, the fencing around it. 1873 to 1896. 23 years old. That's sad. There's some old wooden grave. There's an old gravestone over here. This one no longer has a tombstone. It was probably wooden at the time it was made. It's just weird being in a graveyard that's miles and miles in the middle of nowhere. Some other old tombs. Well, there's no tomb there, but another grave. Looks like somebody was probably buried here. Watch for rattlesnakes. I'd hate to be buried here as well. Born March 8th, 1857, died November 22nd, 1907. It's been buried here for over 100 years. I think I'm walking beside another grave there. (1893 to 1912), in loving memory of Fred A., son of Angie Cyrus, maybe Horn. A lot of that one's broke off. 1859 to 1929. This must have been a family graveyard. Not a family graveyard, but a family burial area. There's another wooden one over here. Barely standing. Doesn't look like there's a tomb. Possibly two graves here. And, well, here's another one surrounded by wood. It would be awesome to come in and locate these graves and redo them all. We'll take a final 360 view around the area. I came down this road up that way is Delamar Ghost Town. And I came back down this way in here to the graveyard. This grave here looks to be a baby's tomb. I'm not sure what the sculpture on the front used to be. It looks like possibly a dog. And I assume that the writing fell over. The rock is too heavy to move, so I won't be able to fix it or see what it says. Ooh, another grave here. Moving on. Guys, again, this is Wurth-It Travel Adventures. New to YouTube, please subscribe to my page. More videos will come in the future. Better quality, hopefully, as well. Thank you for watching. Subscribe.